I know from the title of this video, you might be thinking that I'm an idiot or something, but before you think that I'm an idiot, just so you know, this is not my opinion on the stock. I've seen a lot of analysts that are saying that the median average of what they think the future price of AMC is around $2, which to me is absolutely ridiculous, but let me explain why. First things first, let's talk about what AMC is and kind of like who they are as a company. In case you've been living underneath a rock or don't go to the movies ever or never known what a movie theater is at all, and you've never heard of AMC, AMC is a movie theater company that was established in 1920 in Kansas City, Missouri. Fun fact, I was actually raised in Missouri, born in Arkansas, raised in Missouri in St. Louis, and yeah, now you know a little bit about me. Another little fun fact, not about me, but about AMC, is that it's actually ranking #1 in amounts of screens across the United States and in Canada. According to a website by the name of Statista, it actually comes in just above 8,000 screens in the United States and Canada, with Regal coming in second, which Regal I thought would be the #1 because it's just such a huge, I know Regal more than I know AMC, and I'm not sure if that's the same for you guys or not, but Regal comes in about 1,000 screens back actually, so it's really not even that close. And lastly, a little more information about AMC. They've been making billions and billions of dollars, roughly around $5 billion within the last 5 years. They've been making $5 billion a year, based off of their very affordable I'm joking. Their concessions are a ripoff. Popcorn is $10 and a drink is another $10 and a bottle of water is $5 that you could have bought from the store. And don't even get me started on candy. Let's just move on. Now, like I said, this is not my opinion of the stock being $2. I really see a bigger future for AMC. I think that people are going to miss the movie theaters, or have missed the movie theaters, I should say, throughout the course of this last year, and they're going to be more excited than ever to go to the movie theaters and actually enjoy it. It's a place for people to have dates and just spend time with family and pay overpriced concessions. I know I brought it up again, it just makes me so mad. But anyways, let's talk about what my opinion is, not just about the company itself or what it's not worth $2. I personally think that it is a buy to own stock. If you can buy this stock, it's been dipping and dipping and popping and popping. So if you can buy on the dips at, I'll talk about pricing a little bit later. But if you can buy on the dips and just keep averaging down your cost, I think eventually this stock will go up huge based off the things that the CEO is doing that we'll talk about in a little bit. So don't click off the video. The CEO of AMC goes by the name of Adam Aron. And yes, he has 2 first names. And yes, it's kind of weird and sus, but they also call him Houdini because he tends to turn things from nothing into something, or make one thing look here and then it's there, and just kind of make things happen for the companies that he's worked with in the past. Now, I had never heard of Adam Aron before, so I did a little digging. And on his latest Twitter post, you can see he said to subscribe to Invest with a Purpose and like the recent video and all the videos for that matter. And also while I was digging, I found that he did an interview with some people at CNN talking about what his plans are for the company and potentially filing bankruptcy for a 6th time. And when I say potentially, it's hardly inclined that they're going to file bankruptcy for the 6th time. On top of filing bankruptcy for the 6th time, he's also trying to sell 500 million shares of AMC. And if he does that and liquidates that, he'll be able to pay off $5 billion worth of debt and then do the other things that he plans to do that we're going to talk about right now. By selling off all those shares, it will allow him to liquidate those assets and then pay off the debt. And with him paying off the debt, he plans on buying out the competitors. I'm not sure exactly which competitors, they didn't say it in the article, but if you care more about that and you really want to do this, do your own due diligence, as I always say, and keep looking. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, and you guys should always do your due diligence, no matter what you're talking about, whether it be stocks or anything else in life. If Adam Aron was actually to buy out all the competitors and be the last man standing, his actual words, not mine, it would allow this stock to really go up in price, like really high, parabolic even. It's just a really big upward catalyst. Let's talk about some downward catalysts, reasons why it might dip and give us an opportunity to buy. As I spoke about earlier, they're planning to file bankruptcy for the 6th time since the start of the pandemic. And with that being said, that will allow us to have a buying opportunity, because when people hear bankruptcy, they generally get pretty scared because it makes sense. But at the same time, you got to think about these businesses that are filing bankruptcy. If you know what bankruptcy is, they're trying to just basically get out of paying off their debt and get out of all the situations that they're in and just let it fall on the company. And that's okay if they rebound back from it. And if that were to happen, and if people are scared and do sell off this stock, this gives us a really good opportunity to buy in right at our strike prices that we're going to talk about right now. Now that we're over on the Thinkorswim platform, let's go ahead and do a little bit of chart analysis on AMC. Okay, in the last 20 days, we can see that it's moved about 20% from 760 to about 920. Okay, so this is over the last 6 months. And so we can see during the pandemic, it was very, or let's back up even more, I guess. Okay, so year-wise, we really didn't see it go over almost $8 actually. So on some spikes about $8. This is back in September and August, but really we saw it bounce between 2 and maybe around 6 per se. And we can see that it really hasn't broken out until this all happened with the Wall Street bets and blah blah blah. If you're not familiar with what happened with the Wall Street bets thing, there was a large amount of investors who were on like blog posting, and they all bought into the stock at the same time, which caused a short squeeze, which sent this stock from $2 to $20, which is about 1,000%. So a lot of people got rich. But then what people aren't talking about is how the same people, a lot of people bought in up here. You got to think about all the people who thought, okay, this is going to go up to $100 or $50 or $200, or super ambitious people bought in up here, and they lost a lot of money. They lost, 60%, 70%. That's a lot of money, unless they held and they kept holding. But even then, they still lost 20%. So if you invest $1,000, you lost 200. That's, it's not the end of the world, but it's a lot. I mean, if you scale that up even more, if you invested 10,000, you lost 2,000. So this one was really scary for me. I definitely wasn't interested in buying in at $20 or anywhere near there. So anyhow, enough of that. Let's start marking up the chart. We can see this is over the span of the last 3 years, right? 2018, 2019, and now we're in 2021, obviously. And so we can start looking at different levels which it stopped at. These are major levels. So a key level here was a big support during the pandemic, and where it's bounced off multiple times at $2, which is why for professional stock analysts to say that the median, what they think on average, the average analyst for that specific test said that it would be $2, which is the lowest it's ever been, even throughout a pandemic where it was closed, is just ridiculous. I don't understand why they would think that at all. So to me, I think that the analysts were crazy to think that it's a $2 stock, and that's a crazy price target for it no matter what. I mean, during a pandemic, it went from $2 to $6, so there's no reason why without a pandemic it should be any lower than $6. I mean, this is where it was $6 before, so the median, if nothing else, even if they think it's just going to go back to normal or it's an average company or whatever, it's a $6 valuation in my opinion. So we have another support here. We can see that it's supported there and then resisted there at the same spot. So it's supported before the pandemic, and then it resisted during the pandemic. Previous supports become new resistance, and vice versa. So we can see, I noticed something too while I was marking this chart up, is that you can see another support here at $4, right? So you see $2, $4, $6. If we go up to $8, we can see that it gapped up right here also. Here, let me pull back. We can see that it, bunched up here, It's bounced up almost to, around 670, which is right underneath. It's bounced off it right there. So at $8, we can see it again. At around $10, we start to see another support/resistance
right here. So it's almost like with AMC that every single time it seems that every $2 increment we see a support. So let's zoom in a little bit. So you can see it even more here where we'll go up to a support, come down, or to a resistance, come down to another support, and then it'll kind of play in here. And then we've seen it come up, then we see it come down, bounce right at the 6, come up to the 12. Like every two, it just seems like there's some type of resistance or support at every $2 even up to here. We can see it again. It went from 12, now 14. We see another, $2 increment support, which is just, it's just interesting for my day traders and swing traders. If you want to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, not, well, buy a put and sell it down. Don't buy the stock here and sell it low. But if you just were to buy the gaps and the dips and sell it, you could do that. But anyhow, let's clear this up. So what I really wanted to show you guys was just the overall trend of the stock. And so what we'll do is we'll draw some support and resistances, just regular ones, not just levels. Those were key levels. These are just the actual supports and resistance. So we can see a solid support going up now. And with the bankruptcy thing, we can also see, I'm not sure if you guys don't know Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders is where you push up here, you got a shoulder, here's the head, here's the other shoulder, and it forms like a body. So it's a downward thing. So shoulder, head, shoulder, and then arm will go down here. So we could see a potential, I mean, even here we see a bearish flag right there. So it may push up again and then crash down. Who knows? But my price targets are going to be right here. So let's get our price line. And so I'm saying if you want to, you can buy in now. I personally would wait until around $8 because that is where we know there's a support every two increments, remember, and then drop down here to 6, which is another 2 increment because that's another support where we could potentially balance. And then to me, if it drops down to $4, I'm buying in again. So this is just 3 levels of where you could buy in so that you could bounce here or buy here and then bounce all the way back up. I personally see this stock back at $20 like how it was in 2018. I see it as a $20 stock. Once it does the things that it's supposed to do, once this bankruptcy passes, once people start going to the movies more and it starts getting more action and revenue. I know there were some talks about it partnering with Disney Plus. If that were to happen, it would be amazing also. So just do your own due diligence, stay on your research, but my price targets for this is $20 and my entry points, my strike prices would be 8, 6, and 4. If it drops to 8, I would put money there. If it drops to 6, I would add more. If it drops to 4, I would add more. And if it ever dropped back down to 2, unless it was going out of business, but if it just dropped down to 2 because people are selling, I would 100% stack up on that. And then think about it. If your average cost is down here in 3s or 4s or 2s, if it bounces, you can double your money, quadruple your money easily by doing that. That's what all these people did down here. They bought in, and once it short squeezed, it just went to the moon. So average down and own this stock for a little while.
So we're coming towards the end of the video where we have a plan on how we're going to profit everything, and we know where we're going to enter, we know where we kind of want to exit, and this is kind of a time frame of how long it's going to be. It'll probably take about, on the long end, 3 years is what I would hold this stock for, because that's when that debt that I was talking about earlier, that $5 billion in debt actually expires, where it's gonna have to be paid. And so he's gonna have to make some type of moves. And when I say he, I'm talking about Adam Aron, is gonna have to make some major moves by then to launch this company into the sky, or things are gonna be bad. So if you were to buy in, and this is not something you're supposed to just hold all your money in or dump a lot of money into. This is something to sit in the corner of your portfolio that could potentially double, triple, quadruple, 10x the money that you put in. So if you put in however much, just know that you may cut your losses on this because it didn't plan and Adam Aron let us down, or Adam Aron pulls off the Houdini and he makes a ton of money and 10x's, 5x's, whatever times your money that you put into AMC. If you guys enjoyed the video today, please drop a like on it and a sub to the channel if you enjoy how I present content and present information to you guys. I feel like this stock sector is kind of missing a level of entertainment or quality, and has a lot of good information but doesn't present it in a very entertaining or quality way. So I kind of want to bring a new light to the industry, and you know, if you guys would drop a sub and a like on the video, it would really support my channel. I plan on producing content more daily and just way more consistent than I have in the past. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to invest every second of every day with a purpose.